I'm looking around at how to do this now, and I've already started writing some code, so I figure I'd start streaming again. I haven't quite exactly figured everything out, but I figured it might be fun for everyone to see how I stumble through all of this while I'm doing it. So what I'm working on at the moment is building some PowerShell functions to register subscriptions to the webhooks. Um, so what I'm doing with that is basically I've got get stream user ID because I'm going to need to convert basically a Twitch stream username to a stream ID in order to actually get the subscription on it, because you can't just use the stream name to register for that. And then I've also got this register Twitch stream webhook subscription. They're nowhere near done. I'm still like doing them as I figure out what needs to be done for each of them, and I still haven't quite figured out the authentication schema for them. But one thing that I did learn is that if you set the hub least seconds to 0 on the subscription request, it doesn't actually you won't actually get any webhook notifications. It'll still do the validation and all that kind of stuff, but it won't actually subscribe, so we won't have to deal with any um, actual subscriptions trying to go through the Azure functions while we work through this. So basically, I need to figure out the authentication scheme for this, but right now I'm fleshing out these functions a little bit. So the get Twitch stream ID basically needs to take a stream name and a base URI. This is how I do my API wrappers, and I like to have a base URI as an actual input on every function, but I don't actually make it visible. So this don't show parameter option makes it invisible. So if I were to actually like source this and do get Twitch and I do this, the only option I have is stream name. Although I should have some of the other things like error option, all that kind of stuff in there. But anyways, it won't show this by default, doesn't do tab completion, but if I actually type it out and use it, then I can. So that allows me to do some overrides, or allows people to override when they use my code. So it's just kind of my own thing that I do. And I've kind of replicated this down here with the webhook base URI, since this is just going to be for my own use. I'm going to have that set. I kind of against a lot of hard coding things. I like them to actually be passed in. Anyways, I've got this set up to take an array of stream names and parse them through. So basic standard thing here, you take an array of stream name and you also do value from pipeline, and that allows you to both pipe or do a list of names in the command, and then for each of those streams go through and do this, and doing that in the process block. So the data path to the user ID is in the data and then user ID. And now it is like possible that the user login could return more than one somehow, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let that go through. And then down here for this function, I'm taking in a stream name, the hub secret, and the have it hidden the webhook base URL. So this is the Azure function base URL for this project. I have no clue what those emotes mean at all, Corey. Do they mean anything? Are they real? Or are you just like making emotes, man? I don't know. I'm not hip to the whole Twitch lingo thingy yet, so it's all new to me. Oh, okay. Hi, got it. So I convert the stream name to user ID because I need to use that here for the hub topic. the hub secret, if it's passed in, because it's optional, you don't have to have a hub secret. I need to update the body here. So if the hub secret exists, go ahead and add it. And it's safe to do because we're using it as a parameter up here. It won't, even if we have this defined in a higher scope, it's not going to scope creep in. So this only works if you're actually taking it in as a parameter. So then I take this body hash table and turn it into some JSON for the body. And down here, I need to and I'm very lazy on this. Do invoke rest method on that. So now I need to figure out what I'm doing as far as authentication on this. I'm gonna go ahead and save this work so far as register. So registering subscriptions, PS1. All right, so now I need to do some figuring out of how the authentication works, because I'm fairly certain that I can't just do this by its own and actually get this back. So I can do this and do my own Twitch user ID. Yeah, I get a unauthorized, must provide a valid client ID or OAuth token. So now's the time to figure out their authentication schema so I can make these pieces of code work. Going over to Firefox here, and so there should be something in the references about authentication somehow. Apps and authentication, there we go. This guy's to help developers registering your app. I've already registered a Twitch app, getting a token, so this is my next step. So they've got a couple of auth flows, client credential flow, authorization code flow, and implicit code flow. I think for just getting the Twitch user account, you don't actually need anything like to get stream information. I think that one can use implicit code flow, which is usually just passing in the client ID. No, this one's a little more complicated. What about client credential flow? Oh, that one's also a little more complicated. Usually the those two are pretty simplistic. What's this one? Yeah. So looks like they've got some pretty standard OAuth going here with a couple of the grant flows. So I'm just gonna have to pick one. So from experience, you need a few things. You need a application definition and a token definition. So this is what I've done in a lot of projects. So we'll have Twitch application, and I'll need to make this a class. Just to call it Twitch app, that's simple. It needs to have a client ID and a client secrets. I guess this is a little more standard for a class. I'm going to be really lazy here because I'm just using this myself and do a string client secret. And I'm going to have a constructor here that takes in a PS credential and does magic on this, turn it into the Twitch app. So this. So it kind of bothers me that the default casing on this is lowercase inside classes. I kind of wish they were capitalized, but I'm just going to bear with it. Credential, username. Oh yeah, thanks. There we go. My bad. So yeah, working on this Twitch app class here. Client ID. This dot client secret equals the credential dot get network password. And just because I know that this is pain, if you don't have a like the no op empty constructor, it breaks things sometimes. So I'm just gonna head that off and add that. So very simple one there. An access token then. So an access token class will have a Twitch app, it'll have an access, it'll have a string as an access token. It may have a refresh token. And that's about it. So we're going to pass those things in directly. So we need to do a constructor for Twitch, access token that takes a Twitch app, takes a access token, and takes a refresh token. So the other thing that this probably needs is a redirect URI. I could do this properly and create a separate method that does this, or if PowerShell supported CTOR training, I could possibly chain this, but I'm just going to be lazy about it. Just copy paste a new one. I don't remember if the Twitch apps actually have redirect URIs in their stuff, but we'll see. Oh, I'm on mute. That's interesting. Sorry about that. All right, so exported some credentials here, so I can re-import them. A little bit easier. And I think that's the, scared of that. Should be output type, not output binding. Spend all day in Azure functions and get used to output bindings. It still doesn't see that, even though that is legit. Ordered this, but it's still not seeing that. Twitch app doesn't see it. Doesn't complain about the class, so I'm gonna restart PowerShell. That fixes almost all the class issues. All right. Still doesn't work. Does not like that class at all. I hate PowerShell classes. Why did I even use it? I don't even know. So it sees the new on that one. Screw that. Just do. There you go. Trying to be all fancy with the output type, but it pretty sure I have a pretty super awesome redirect URI of this, which I use for all kinds of apps. So hide this here just in case this blows up. It did blow up. Alright. I know I'm not showing my screen right now, but I'm debugging some secrets here. So bear with me. Just look at my pretty Firefox screen for a second. Yeah, that's weird. The client ID isn't right on that or something. So gotta re-register some stuff. Yeah. And almost there, almost there. Oh, that makes sense. All right, almost done. Just need to restart my session so that all my crappiness disappears from the screen. And now I can go back to my console. All right. Risky business working with secrets on the live stream. Anyways, this should work now. I've got this. Yep. All right, so now I have if I do this dot client ID. Yep, my client ID's there. And we're good. Okay. Okay, so now I've got that. Now I need to get an OAuth token. So at Twitch OAuth token. Oopsie. Alright, so this should take a Twitch app. I'm not going to type the Twitch app on it just to avoid the whole weirdness with classes in PowerShell. And yeah, we'll have to see. I'm pretty sure that I can just get a client secret for this. All right, so this is going to have some parameters. We know that's going to happen. And you know that one of them is going to be URI because that's required. And there'll be some other things in there, but response equals IRM and some params there. We know that we're going to do a Twitch access token. New. And I need another empty thing there. pass in the Twitch app. Response.access token. This is just from experience. We'll probably have to adjust it based on what they have in their documentation. And response.refresh token. All right. We'll see how right I am after I look at their API documentation. So we need to switch over to Lay Firefox. And all right, they talk about refreshing. So I'm going to try client credential flow and see how well that works. So they expect a post to. So we know that we need this as a base URI. Again, I don't like to show my base URIs, but I like to have them configurable. Back to Firefox. Client ID, client secret, grant type, scope. Let's see what they've got for scopes. You know, I don't know when Don't Show got introduced. I started programming at the tail end of PowerShell 4, and it was available there at least. So it could have been in from the very beginning. It's not, I don't think it's well documented or anything like that. I found it when I was working on some commandlets in actual C#, and I saw it as a parameter attribute listed there, and I was like, the heck is that? And then when I looked at the parameter attributes, I saw Don't Show was there. So it's kind of an underutilized one. I actually used it in the invoke REST method and invoke web request. Use basic parsing. I set it to Don't Show in 6+ because it has no utility at all. So I don't want it to show up. For anybody new to the language, they would use it and be like, oh, well, basic parsing, what does that do? It doesn't do anything in 6 because you only got basic parsing in 6+. So I made it Don't Show, but it's still there because I didn't want to break anyone who was passing use basic parsing to the commands from old code. So it's there, but it's invisible and it does nothing. Kind of the same thing with the import CSV commandlets. When I switched around how those work, I added Don't Show to one of them as well. So, well, that's nifty. I learned about it from the C# side of the house. So scopes. User read, user init. I don't even think I need any scopes, right? Like, I don't want to access anything. Edit a user channel, view broadcasting configuration, read email address, manage user object, manage a clip, view bits. Like, I don't care about any of those scopes at all. So if I leave scope empty, does that break things? No, it's listed as optional. Okay, yeah, because I don't think that I need to list any scopes on this to get the client ID, to get the user ID. And I don't think that I actually need a scope to do subscriptions either. I think that I can do them as the application and I don't actually have to do them as a user. But we'll see. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. So I'm going to need the client ID, client secret, grant type, and that's it. So I'm just going to copy this so that I have it to reference when I switch back over to VS Code. Normally I would have these open side by side so that I could see them, but I can't really do that while I'm live streaming. It's too much of a hassle. It makes everything too small. So I need client ID, and client secrets. Yeah, are those posts? That's weird. Like, yeah, they are post. Okay. I don't need these on this then. I don't even need to do anything here then. Body equal this is going to be Twitch app dot client ID. Twitch app dot client secret, and grant type equal client credentials. Hope I can get away with just client credentials on this for both requests. It's going to be really painful to try to do some console-based Twitch OAuth. But at least for getting the username I should. So means down here on get Twitch stream ID, I need to take in a Twitch access token. Again, I'm not typing it because if I try to type it, it will get screwed up. So here in headers, equal authorization. If I was using 6, then I could use my easier ways of doing this, but no. I guess there's no reason why I'm in 5.1, but I'm already neck deep in it, so I'll stay in 5.1. DevOps and PowerShell in the same sentence? Like, why wouldn't they be in the same sentence? Like, you telling me that you manage your Windows configuration with Python? I mean, I don't know. Like, It's totally possible to manage your Windows environments with something other than PowerShell. It's just way more painful. Oh. Got it. All right. Bear Twitch access token dot access token. Oh, one thing I need to check on this Twitch access token back on Firefoxes is what do they return? They return, what does it look like? Token type, yeah, access token, refresh token, expires in scope, and token type. Yeah, so access underscore token, refresh token. That's gonna be good enough. That's what I've already got. I'm not gonna get a refresh token with client credential auth because it's not a it's not one that does refreshes. You just get a new token every single time. But whatever, we can just ignore that. Probably pass in null, but we'll leave that go for now. So theory, I should be able to do these now. Let me make sure I've got access token here. Get Twitch access token and get stream user ID. Let me do I guess I'll do this in here. I've got access token equal get freaking out screen. I pity you, Corey. I mean, you can definitely manage Windows environments with things other than PowerShell. It's just more painful. And you can definitely manage your Linux environments with PowerShell. It's just more painful. I mean, if you're into pain, I mean, it's your thing. I'm not gonna judge anybody on that, I guess. Twitch at. Work. No. I need to post. I mean, if you're if you're doing pure bash management of Linux, it's going to be more painful than like something that's using Ruby or Python as a kind of DSL. But
Cruising highways longer further. Living life is supposed to be. Red lights never seem to stop us. Trapped in shackles.
all right, now I should have an access token that I should be able to use on. Okay. All right, I have to put this on hidden mode for a second. Make sure that I'm not disseminating some secrets.
I never was one for forgiveness. I always try to pull my weight. They say the other side is greener. I'm pretty sure I won't be late. I play my cards and
Let me
sometimes
try.
yet all I do is bluff and cheat. Better save my thoughts for later. Life is always bittersweet. I've traveled through this world a million times before, and every path I cross I know I'd
Well, that's no fun.
and even though I know my heart
It's definitely passing in the right information.
life is always
Um,
bittersweet.
so it doesn't like it though, even though it gives me a valid access token. Um, ugh. Is Twitch Helix the right one for the new API? Is that why? Check for new API reference. It streams. It looks like I could just pass in the client ID as a header, which is way easier. Might be able to do the same thing for the other thing, but Helix is right. So I'm gonna try passing in the client ID and see if that works instead. It'll be so instead of authorization, we're gonna do client. Let's see what it is. Copy paste it out of. Client ID equals. This is kind of stupid. I'm getting an access token and then using the all right. So we go down to should work. There we go. All right. So I successfully returned user ID. Uh, now we need to see if we can do some subscription. This one will be kind of. I know this is going to break. There is no way this works right on the first thing. They say for the subscription piece that you don't need authorization. That makes like no sense to me. Like how would they know who requested that? So I'm going to try also down in here to use the same header piece. So I need to also take in a Twitch access token down here, which has become mostly irrelevant when it looks like I just need the app. But I'm going to try this with the hopes that it actually works. The other thing that I need to update is this hub lease seconds and make that configurable. So that is an int. hub lease seconds. I'm going to do the default of 0, but they have a validate range of 0 to 84 something or other. So if I go back to Firefox here, I go to this 86400. And instead of taking in the bare number there, we do this. All right, so get this in. Update that so that it takes that. Update this again. And result equal register blank, stream name Mark E. Kraus, hub secret, hub lease seconds 0, access token. All right, I'm gonna hide this just in case it somehow slips out some secrets and doesn't mean to while I'm doing a first run execution. Bad request. Hub.mode is required. Okay. So no secrets were blurted to the screen, so that's good. But I got bad request 400. Hub mode is required. And I'm like pretty certain that hub mode is right there. So I'm not quite sure why that failed. So let me look at the thing here. I get the user ID. That seems to have done okay. At least knowing what I did up there. Callbacks there. And tell me they expect this as a get. I thought this was a post for JSON content. Probably need to send. Let me try this before I dig there. I think I need to do content type equal application / JSON. All right. Privacy mode again while I run this just in case. And I get the same error message. So let's dig into Firefox. Yeah, so it says post to Helix Webhooks hub. So let me just make sure that that's where I'm posting to. Yep. Method post. convert to JSON. All right. Callback's definitely there. Hub mode is definitely there. Hub secret. All right. So I'm gonna try this again without hub secrets. And I'm going to remove the hub secret, and I'm gonna shove the body that gets converted to screw it. I'm just gonna return it. Params dot body. Just to be sure that that's correct. I'm gonna have to hide the screen again while I do this though. Just to be sure. And no, that is completely wrong. It does not do anything. The body is empty apparently. That is weird. I'll go back. So what I did is before I call invoke rest method, I'm just passing out the body. And it's in there in my latest import of the command, but nothing came out. So the body was blank, which is problematic. It should definitely have stuff in it. So I set body up here as a hash table. I don't get any error messages when that gets set. And then I add this to the thing. That doesn't have any problems. Parameters is spelled right. Body should be okay. Unsupported talkback. Oh. That's a different one than before, right? Like, hub mode is required. I don't know what's going on here. That's really weird. I guess it's picking a random thing. Anyways, I'm going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay. So, I need to look into this and figure out what, I mean, JSON body parameters. So I'm definitely doing this as JSON. But I'm seeing like whatever's happening with my JSON payload going to crap. I definitely pass those things in. So, it says hub topic, unsupported topic. I copied this directly from their documentation. So, if I go back to here and I look at what they want for stream change, they want, yeah, example hub topic. Like, they give me that right there. Pretty much copy and pasted this and then updated it in here. And done the user ID. And I do know that this gets me a user ID. So let me try somebody else's, let me try the PowerShell Live one. And just make sure that it gives me something different. It doesn't give me anything. Did I spell it wrong? That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, so the end goal of this this project right now is to create a notification app. So I'm using Azure Functions to take webhook from Twitch, so that when we have our PowerShell Live members, so to speak, come online, I'll be able to send out a tweet from the PowerShell Live Twitter account saying so-and-so has gone live, and giving a link to the stream. Might also add some other notification pipelines. I was originally going to do it in Slack and Discord as well, but we found a bot called Now Live for Discord. The only problem is that it hasn't worked all day today, so I'm not enthusiastic about it. This is awesome though. Let me try. Since you happen to be on the screen right now. Wow. I can get my own though. So maybe I do need to, or no, now it's not giving me anything. What? That's totally awesome. Alright, so I've got problems galore. Did I spell this wrong in here? No? Even if I spelt it wrong. That's alright, base URIs, right? Alright. I am just going to throw that all out there right now. Change this to get Twitch stream. Down here. And nothing. That's really awesome. Make sure that I've got this in there. Alright. Make sure they don't have any weird stuff. Huh. Oh, I've got that spelled wrong, but okay. So I get this back, but I guess I don't get it for anyone else. Nope. Huh. I guess I do need to do some scopes on that. I can only access myself probably. But it didn't look like there was any scopes available that would fit what I'm trying to do here. Let me go back to their scopes stuff. See if I can actually find where they've got their scopes listed. It's probably in the apps and authentication area. Okay. Scope. Any or all of these scopes. Like none of these seem none of these seem right. Channel stream. I just want public read information. Chat and pub sub. None of these scopes matter at all. And like there's not just like a general like user read. I feel like I shouldn't need that for just figuring out what's going on. I have no clue about how stream bots work. I know Corebob has done some work on Twitch stream bots before. I'm not. So all I'm doing is like, so let's say that Corebob is on the PowerShell Live list, right? When he comes online, I'm just subscribing to the webhook so that when there's a change to his channel, it updates me that he's live, right? So he's gone live or he's gone offline. Um, it'll send me a webhook back to my Azure functions, and then I'll send out a tweet. So I'm not even doing anything that's extremely fancy. It's just really weird. Uh, well, not even that. So you subscribe, and then they, whenever a user comes online, they send out a thing to your own endpoint. So it's kind of like that. Like I'm not even logged in, right? At this point, all I'm trying to do is get a user ID, because you have to subscribe to a stream with a user ID, not a username. So I can't just say like, uh, you know, subscribe to Marky Kraus, right? It doesn't do that. It takes a user ID. So you have to translate that first from username to user ID. And that's where I'm getting stuck. So I can get my own. That makes sense because I'm the developer for this, but I can't get somebody else's. Um, Let me try a different thing. They have like username on here. See if that works as a search thing for this. That looks right. All right. Screw their documentation. I'll just try random things until it works. That's been like the entirety of this project. Like, the documentation is. Ugh. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I find documentation to be like moderately helpful. Like 80% of the time, I waste my time trying to do what the documentation says, and ultimately just hit random buttons until things work. So I should be able to get, but it's something completely different. That's not right at all. Because it gave me the same thing for two different users. Oh, that's not even good. So it's just giving me some general stuff. So username's not helpful. Oh, I don't even have my code up. So this is the craziness that's going on, is that like did Core Bob was like, yay, I'm finally getting something. Yeah, that looks awesome. And then I do known onsense and I get the same thing. And I do it myself and I get the same thing. So that's obviously not working. So try to find get stream. Is there get stream like get user? No. community ID. What's a community ID? Yeah, that's like whatever communities they're part of. First, game ID, language, user ID. One or more usernames. How would you even do that? Is it comma separated? Or is that just multiple? Like, I guess. Let's get. These are query strings. I'll try user ID and just see if it works with user ID, even though it's like clearly not the right thing according to their documentation. We're back to nothing. It's really frustrating. So the crux of the matter here is that their documentation says that you can look up by user login, and I do. It works for me. I get this right. It looks good. But if I try like Corbob, I get nothing. So to me, it says that it's expecting some kind of better authentication than what I'm doing. So probably gonna have to do one of the other auth flows. It probably doesn't work with the client credentials. So back to the drawing board on the OAuths here. Oh God, please tell me that that could very much be the case, because when a stream is offline, it the payload that they give you on the webhook is an empty thing. So how do I get your user ID from your username if I can't do it from the stream? Oh. Alright, let's look at the available options here. Streams metadata? About active streams. What about... Yep, active streams. Get users? Okay. Authentication. Optional scope. Oh. If I have access. Okay. This is probably going to be working better then. Let's try that. Take in login. They could be consistent on this. That would be fantastic. Anyways, this is what I'm talking about. This gets users information. This also returns their user ID, but the get streams here says gets information about active streams. So, yeah. Thanks, Corey. That's helpful, but stupid. To me, like, I should be able to get information about the stream and the fact that it's offline, not an empty array. Um, but I digress. Yeah, let's see. How about no? But yeah, it still shows nothing for you. But I think I remember them saying there's like a 5-minute delay sometimes. And, it's not live and things. And I could be typing your name wrong. I mean, it's only 6 letters. It's quite possible I've got some extra cores or extra bobs in there. Anyways, I'm going to try the other endpoint. So this is all it's returning when I do this. Oh, now that sufficient amount of time has passed, I do get information about CoreBob stream. Title, PowerShell PSCUCM. I really... yeah. What's this Stream Elements? Is that some kind of other third-party app that I could be saving myself time on and letting that do the Twitter updates? Dude, I don't know. Like, I the number of times I've read this and thought that it was inappropriate, and then had to like go back. Oh, there's this extra C in there. I just like, oh god, it's so bad. See, nothing. I couldn't find anything that did Twitter notifications. So I was like, I guess I'll sally forth with my stuff here. I mean, there's plenty of other. All right, so I'm going to change this up. Get Twitch user, which is more accurate now. Instead of user login, it's just login, because that's helpful. Yeah, I'm not saying that you're in the wrong, like, at all. So that works. Let me try. No nonsense. All right. So I'll just use this instead. That sounds like a better idea. Get Twitch user. So I'm going to wrap this and get the data back, because it's always going to have a data on it. And do a little, yeah, there we go. So that looks good. So in here, I need to do this and take the ID lowercase id. All right. All right. Gonna have to censor this just in case it blows up and does some secrets on the screen. And it didn't. I still get unsupported topic. And I still don't see a body there. I'm going to just working in C# all day. Like, for crying out loud, work here. Work with me, buddy. Alright, hiding this again while I run this. How is that still failing? Yeah, for whatever reason, my body is still empty. Ha ha ha. Which is really freaking weird. I'm gonna try outputting body. I know that the screen's censored. Sorry. Gotta do what we gotta do's. That really makes no sense. I'm 100% setting body. It's getting nowhere. No. I fixed it. Once I switched to the user's endpoint, it worked fine. Well, at least getting the user ID for an offline channel works. This is perplexing to me. I don't exactly know why this is not doing anything. Like, I'm just gonna output some more stuff. Like, I don't even know. Like, I know this is still on the browser, and I should probably like stub out some secrets or something while I'm testing this so that we're not staring at a browser screen while I'm doing it. You know, I'm an idiot. It is official, folks. I am an idiot. I was saving the results to this result variable and not outputting that to the screen, so I was not seeing that these were actually doing things. Okay, and yeah, the user ID is not being populated. Is what's happening. That's what's going on. All right. I have to clean up my session here so I can show my screen again. Right, so this is what I was talking about. I was doing results equals here, and then like going, hey, when I execute this, I get nothing on the screen. What's going on? Good dumbass. Oh yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it. Oh, fantastic. Right. So I don't understand why this is not getting updated. I I have this here. Anyways, I'm gonna try this with a fresh session just to see. I'm gonna take some of this troubleshooting bull honky out of here, though. That's a technical term from Texas, um, by the way. Bull honky. It's a thing. I can't even do verbose on this because it'll just blow things up. No, I missed the one. Tyler tweeted. What did he tweet about? What did he catch you on? They're always trying to catch me riding dirty. Okay, so that far is working. One of the things that my coworkers give me hell about is that um, I constantly underestimate the amount of time it's going to take to do things. So like I'll be planning and I'll be like, yeah, man, this will be like, I don't know, 2 sprints. We can do it in 2 sprints. And they look at me in horror, like, what do you mean we could do this in 2 sprints? I'm like, yeah, sure, we can do it in 2 sprints. And usually I could do it in 2 sprints if I didn't have to, like, you know, dig a bunch of landmines out of the code, but that's a different story. I mean, that applies to, like, everything, not just code, right? Like the violin. So you sit there and you watch some master violinist playing, and you're like, wow, that looks really easy. I'm gonna play the violin. And then, yeah, that's not an easy thing to do at all. So this comes back as ID. Do it in there. All right. Nah, man, stay. The broken is the way. The fixed is Zen. Alright, so I'm gonna try this and hope that maybe there was just something funky in the oh. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, Riverdance is pretty insane. It's like testament to human ability right there. So I still get the same thing, and I'm pretty sure that what I'm going to see is if I do this user ID out here, I'm going to see that it's null. Back to the privacy screen of the browser. Yeah. Still the same results. Like, I can do this up here, and I can get the ID, and I can do and get the ID. That works fine. But it just isn't it isn't the same. Like, maybe the Twitch access token isn't binding properly. I hate these classes in PowerShell. Just screwing you up all the time. Why did I even use them? So my code is mesmerizing? I don't know. I think I'm gonna say screw it and not use classes, because I think that's what's screwing this up. Because I've run into this weird thing before where when you go like a couple of scopes deep, the classes disappear. So like you have a function calling another function and passing in your custom type, it disappears like just off the face of the planet. I'm definitely like passing in the same access token that I'm creating up here. Like it's 100% there. But this doesn't error and it doesn't turn anything. This is definitely being set here in the stream. It's from the stream name, so it's doing for each stream name, stream, so it's good here. So crazy. So I'm gonna do a couple of things here. I could probably do all kinds of slick troubleshooting stuffs in some debugger and all that stuff, but honestly, I'm lazy. I just like to do this over and over again and hate myself for it. Execute it. Look at results. Yeah. But user ID is coming up nil. have to cleanse my screen again. Yeah. There's this. Don't hide that for now. Yeah. This is not doing anything. Don't know why. It definitely works when I do it on my own, but when I call it from within the function, it doesn't. Within another function, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't fail. I'm gonna try doing verbose on it and making the screen private while I do this. Yeah, the actually doing something flag, that's, you know, after, you know, haven't read the manual and banged my head a million times. Well, this is really entertaining, right? When I run this with verbose, it definitely goes out and runs the other function, and it receives something back, but I get nothing. So I may need to unwrap this from data. What the hell? That's so weird. Ugh, you know, that could be it. I should definitely remove don't do anything from my default parameters. It's well, the thing is, like, this is me hitting my head a dozen times after reading the docs. So, what kind of idiot am I, right? But yeah, this is really interesting. Like, we know that this gets called. It does this here. It gets something back, but I don't get anything actually assigned into user. Why not? Like, why do you hate me? What have I done to you? Yeah. It's we're gonna have to do this one live, folks. In the oh man, what's his name? We'll do it live. Okay. I'm gonna execute this. Yeah, so I get some stuff in there. I'm just gonna try not swallowing this. Like, I don't even know. This is the most perplexing thing ever. Just ignore all of this. Like, literally now all this does is call another function. It's... And I get empty data. But it definitely calls this it doesn't like the access token, maybe? Again. Like this is the right access token. Just for grins. Received 11 byte response and its data. What the heck are you doing? This works fine up here. Get your Twitch user. Oh, I guarantee you it's classes. So I'm done with that. We'll give up on this. The only problem is that I only think about this after I've already started the thing here. This would be client ID. Credentials username. So create that, and then we also replace access token here with a PS custom object that has Twitch app. Access token. Get rid of that. Goodbye, PowerShell classes. Twitch app. Twitch app client ID. All right. Okay, so that still works. Now, does this work? No, still the same. Like, oh my god, kill me now. I misspelled my own name, people. I've been troubleshooting this all this time, and it's all because I misspelled my own freaking name. Oh, good times, good times. Yeah, so that's working now that I've spelled my own name properly. Now I can remove all of this craziness. Go back here to doing this, returning the result of data. Down here. ID. This to ID. What is that? Take out the verbose call. ID. All right. All right. I have a large amount of belief that this will work. I'm going to hide this for a second, just in case. All right, so the good news is that it didn't give any errors. It also didn't give anything at all, which I think is normal for this. I probably should have done invoke web request instead of invoke REST method there, so I could have gotten some more information. But I should be able to look at the logs or the queues for my stream ingestion. Hopefully this fired off something. Well, this is taking way longer than normal, right? All right, monitor. So it hasn't actually done anything. So this can be 5 minutes behind, according to this, right? I should have done some log streaming on this, so I'm going to do that now. Now that I've got some semblance of something there, I'm going to do some stream logging on this. All right. Now, let's see if it actually gets a call from the don't, but I can probably Um, double check that my code actually has some things being done now. Yeah. Just make sure. I'm gonna up this to 60 seconds. Register my own channel for 60 seconds here. Now maybe it happens asynchronously whenever it calls back to the actual endpoints, and no control over when that happens. It could be like now and a day from now. It'll be hard to tell if it does anything at all. It doesn't error, so that's good. I'm going to change this from invoke invoke REST method to invoke web request, so I get something back. I can look at headers or something and see like what's going on. Going to subscribe to Core Bob's, so that's just not me again. So I get 202 accepted, and some rate limit information, trace ID, some good stuff. So yeah, it doesn't send back anything, which is normal according to their documentation. And I'm not seeing anything here, but this is Twitch stream notifications. I should have been looking on webhook ingestion, monitor. Not seeing anything here. So could very well be that it's just not showing up yet. There's some delays. We know that for sure. Like there was delays between Core Bob starting his stream and when his third-party service showed that it was live too. So there's definitely going to be some delays built into all of this because they're obviously not going to do everything live all the time. So that's always a pain when dealing with this. At the very least, I know that I'm not getting an error. So all the previous errors that I was getting were alleviated once I started spelling my own name right. So I think that I've got this registered Twitch stream webhook subscription working properly. Callback should be good. All right. I'm gonna try registering to Core Bob's for an hour. Hopefully I can get some kind of information back on that one. Anyways, I'm going to call it a night here. I think that's I'm at a good stopping point, because at this point all I can really do is check to see that the ingestion actually gets the subscription callbacks from their webhook, and then actually testing some stream startup, start down stuff later. Um, I definitely can't do that uh, live, so we'll look into that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in.